So folks, back with the Enfield. What are we going to be doing today? Welcome to the man cave. Let the games begin. Right, what we're going to do today is we need to do a repair on this fuel pipe here. Now if you remember, it was leaking. I tried welding it, but this pipe is so thin and rotten on that elbow that it won't hold. Now then, what I've done, so I've done some research. I was going to cut it off there, then put a little rubber bend in. Right, we have our spanner. So let's see, let's just get this pipe off of here. There we go. Our pipe is off. Alright, let me get this cleaned up. See you in a bit. Right, whilst trying to grind, we had a mishap. This pipe was so brittle. You can see how thin. Can you actually get focus on that? I'll try. Come on camera, there you go. That pipe is actually so thin that as soon as I hit that with the grinder, it fractured and it came off. Come on, get focused. Focusing on the shingle, look. There we go. Yeah, that pipe was so brittle it just came off. Cut that off and put a piece of rubber tube in. So cut this off here and put the little bit of rubber in. So we have cut our ends off back to relatively, get focused, that's it, thick metal. So I think now we can put our pipe back on. Then we'll know where to put our rubber, won't we? So if I just buzz this pipe on this end, you never guess what I've just noticed. A split in this pipe here, look, on this other end. That's also got a split, look. It's a shame I couldn't find where to get another one of these pipes from, because I can see this being this engine's Achilles heel. I suppose I could, if I wanted. If I could find the fittings to go on here, I could probably use a hose tile, a hose tile, a hose tile, a three-way splitter, and do these with rubber. Don't suppose it would matter, because that's not a high pressure side, that's only sort of moderately low pressure to go to the, from the filter to the injector pump. So there ain't exactly a lot of pressure in here, but there's a little bit. Rubber pipes will certainly hold it. I mean, the petrol fuel injection system on cars has got a lot more higher pressure than what this has. But no. So we just got to bridge a bit of rubber across there, but we are going to have to do our repair on there. Let me get a bit of rubber hose and we'll see what we've got and what's needed. Alright, we have some braided fuel hose. This is the high pressure stuff, rated to about 30 psi, which will be ample. And if I put this at a 45-degree angle, like so, we can still blow through it, so it's not going to collapse in itself. We need to get that on. There we go. I'm hoping that's going to fit nicely over there. Oh, it does, look, that's the right thickness. It goes right over that olive. Oh, this is perfect. So really we need to slide this over here. I think that's a bit long. Let's trim a bit off. We'll cut about 3/4 of an inch off and see if we can get that. Oh, it's going over. Look at that. You know, that is a lovely snug fit in there as well. But we've got a bit too much of a kink at the minute. I want that over a bit more, just to ensure that's going to be airtight. Now we've got a bit too much of a kink in there. We might have to cut a bit more off this metal pipe to actually shorten it up a bit, because that might be too much of a bend in there. So we might have to cut a bit more off there so we aren't so steep, if you get my gist. Yeah, I think we'll trim a bit off here. So I think if I just take this pipe back off, cut ourselves another 1/2 inch off there. Backing them in. Right, we have a bit more cut off our pipe. So let's put this on here first this time. Get it on there a good distance. Then on here. Oh, that actually fits snug as a bug in a rug. That is about perfect. And that'll fit that end, it'll fit that end. There we go. So we've basically got our rubber pipe in situ. And that actually don't look too bad. To make this engine match, or to make this repair match, shall I just cut this corner out here and put another piece of rubber on this side so that matches, to save having a horrible blob of chemical metal on there which may not hold. Do you see what I mean? Let's see if we can zoom in on that crack, which I didn't notice the other day. Do you know, from certain light you can't even see it, but there is a split. There's the bottom of the split, there's the top of the split, so that's how long the split is. So a good, I don't know, 2/3 of an inch. So I'm wondering, cut off there, another piece of rubber, and then it'll match. Do you know, I think that might be a way to go, because it'll look uniform then. I know it won't be original, but it'll look uniform to the engine. And if we do need to put Jubilee clips on there, we can. There we go. Where's that fracture? There it is. You can see that clear as day now, that fracture. So I reckon cut this section out, put another bit of rubber in. Let's get it done. So we are back. We have got our rubber pipe. We've got this bend cut out of here. We've got our rubber pipe which goes on here. That one can go on there. And then I'll get another piece of rubber pipe to join this to this. And then we should be fuel tight. Right, here's our piece of rubber. So let's get him slid over here as far as we can get it. Oh, that's going over there a treat. And then down onto this shaft here. That's sitting a bit too high. So we'll trim a bit of this pipe off. And hopefully that'll make this pipe sit just a little bit lower where it should be. Come on, get down there. Come on, get down on there. Right. There we go. I don't look too bad, do it? Look at that, guys and girls. We have replaced this with rubber pipes. Now I'm probably going to need to put clips on there. Now I'm not a fan of having crude Jubilee clips. So what I'm going to try and find is the little nip up spring clips. I like hose clips what you squeeze together and they expand or undo them. A lot of lawnmowers have them. So I'm going to try and find 4 of them. So I haven't got any new ones. But I think actually that's going to be diesel type. I don't think we're going to get any air coming out of these. So yeah, quite happy with that. Where's our little diesel tank? Shall we see if we've got any leaks? Right, so let's get our little diesel tank. Put him on. I think we're going to undo this bleed nipple on there. Where are we? Yeah, I think we're going to undo the bleed nipple on here and hold this tank up until we get diesel out of here. And there's also a screw there which I think is a bleed screw. So let's get these split open. Cool. I'm assuming that's a bleed, although there isn't any. It's a solid bolt, but we'll just hold this up till we get fuel coming out of this filter. If indeed we even get fuel coming out of this filter, or has it got to be pumped in? I think we might have to crank this a bit just to pump it in. Hang on, let me get rid of this spanner here. Cool. I'm certainly puffing out of this exhaust. I can feel it on my face. So let's just see if we're getting diesel up to this filter. Oh, here we come. There we go. That's burping air out of that filter, look. Alright, perfect. So we've got all the air out of this. Excellent. So we'll put that back in. And we'll get our screwdriver and see if we can get this undone. Will that undo? Yep. Good old brass screw. So let's do a little bit more cranking. Up, there we go. We're getting diesel out of there. Definitely. So we've got diesel up to here as well. Excellent stuff. There. So let's now see if we can hear two injectors squeak. I can hear that one. We have an injector squeak on this side. The injector this side, I don't think that fuel tank has to be lower than that, so I think this pump will pick it up. We're not getting any squeak out of this injector, so I don't think we're even getting any outlet from it. Yes, this is going to be the problem. I think we have a problem maybe with this pump, and that's going to be a mission to get that pump off, because it looks like just 2 bolts, but it isn't that simple. Coming down this tube there has to be a rack which moves with your throttle. So that rack which sticks down into this engine cover is going to be connected to something. What and how I don't know, but somehow it'll have to be disconnected from that, or it might just be seized up. And I don't know whether this splits here or whether that's solid, so we don't have to take that injector rack out. I really don't know. Either way, we're not getting. I'm going to try a bit longer, but I'll take that pipe off there and see if we got any diesel coming out of that pipe. So let's have a look. If we're getting some sort of spit out of here, if we can get a spit of diesel out of that olive, we'll know that's pumping. But I don't think we're getting a spit of diesel out of it. We're getting absolutely nothing. No. We're getting nothing out of this pump. So what could that be? I really don't want to have to take that pump out because I'm not sure how it comes out. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure if that even... Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, fuel is actually built pressure in there. Right, so the fuel has actually come up to there. Okay. I was not expecting that. So we've actually got fuel into this rack. But I don't think the rack is going to undo, to be honest. Oh, bugger, I don't want to get that too much stick. Oh, bugger. Well, whatever that is, that's cracked open. No, I don't... Ah, there's actually a bleed. This is actually a bleed screw we're looking at that. Right, it appears there's a hole in there. There's a hole in that bolt. So that might be to bleed that pump up. Hey! Well, we're getting diesel up to that pump, but there don't appear to be any diesel coming out of it. So let's just crack him back up. And out of interest, to see if we can get some sort of spit out of that, which we're not. Ah! Ah! Oh, we're getting a dribble out of there. I think we are, look. See that? It's starting to spit out of this pump. Maybe we just had air in the line all along. Maybe. This is definitely worth investigating. So I think now we need to take the line off the injector as well and see if we can get any down to the injector. Right, we can see our injector line down here. So let's crack him off and see if we can get any fuel. Right, that's definitely cracked off. Let me see if I can get you guys in a bit lower. Right, there's our injector line. Let's see if we can get diesel down to that injector. See if that pump... Ah, I think we're getting some down there. Like, you can see air bubbles. What do you think, guys? I think we've got fuel down here, haven't we? So let's crack him up. And then we've got to listen to see if this injector will start squeaking. Because if you hear the other injector, you can hear it like click, 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 chirping. We're not getting that chirp out of this one. So let's hope we get a chirp. There you go. We're getting 2 chirps. We are getting 2 chirps. Did you hear that? So we're getting a chirp out of each injector now. Excellent news. Shall we go for a start up while we're at it? You'll have to excuse Father tapping over there. Let's have a go. So here we are. Let's get our tools off. Like I say, I think that'll pick that diesel up from below that level, so I'm not going to worry too much at the minute. Bring you around this side. And we'll see if we can get anything out of the old girl. Now then. Oh, cool, bugger. Oh, so much compression. So much compression. I can't even get it over one bump. Whew. She is so much compression there. Cool. Come on. Whew. A different way of starting this bad boy. Well, so I just can't get it over 1 beat of compression. I think if we could, it would probably crack off. I just can't get it over. Surely there shouldn't be that much compression in that. Surely not. There are videos of people starting these and they start a lot easier than this. We seem to have way too much compression, and I don't know why. I'm going to have to do a bit of research and see what's up against here. Just see if there's anything I'm doing wrong. But for now, I'm going to call this video done. We have diesel now getting to both injectors, so that tells me that that's all okay on that side now. It's just a case of cranking it over fast enough to get it over compression, and I think it would probably go. But for now, I'm going to say bye bye, and I'm going to have to see about why I can't get that to bump over. I mean, I've started no end of engines, but I've never had one with that much compression. It's like it's stopping dead. As soon as I hit compression, boom, it don't want to go over. It just stops. No matter how fast I get it swinging before I release it. And with this flywheel, there's a lot of momentum there. That is a big heavy flywheel. So there's a lot of momentum and all my arm strength. And that won't bump over on compression. But there you go. We'll call this a day. And thank you for watching the last video, which was a failed start. This is a failed start video as well. But we have made progress by getting fuel to that injector without having to remove that high pressure pump. So we have made progress. I'm going to call it a day. And bye bye for now. Ha ha!